Hey people, another rant. I just finished watching one of Fluffy's. If you don't know who Fluffy is, type in YouTube Fluffy, you'll know. But he had a thing on vaccines where he had gone and got a vaccine, and one of the protesters come up to him and he says, "You're so stupid, you don't know what you're putting in your body. You gotta go watch it. It's funny. I'm not telling you anymore." Well, if you really think about it, with those vaccines and not being vaccinated, first of all, they're saying we don't know what we're putting in our body. Well, at least we're not going to be putting COVID in our body, or at least we're going to put a lesser dangerous form of COVID in our body. And secondly, if you think about it, the hospitals right now get filled up, and 95%, it's either 85 or 95% of the people ending up in the hospital with COVID are unvaccinated, didn't get their vaccine. And 85 or 95% of the people who die from COVID didn't get the vaccine. Now, if you think about that, if 95% are getting COVID are unvaccinated, that means 95% of the vaccinated people are not getting bad reactions from COVID because they did get vaccinated. So, for all you people who are saying we're stupid, we don't know what we're putting in our body, one, the science for the vaccine has been used for the past 10 years. And if any of you unvaccinated people have had cancer and gone and gotten treatment for that cancer, guess what? You already got that science in your body, because that's what it used to be used for. They just reworked it to be used for the vaccine. Wow. So you can either have that science used to make sure you don't end up in the hospital with COVID, or you can use that science to help cure you of cancer. It's all the same science. But no, you don't want to hear that. Ain't got to hear that at all. Well, have you ever been vaccinated for mumps, measles, polio, and all that other stuff? So you'll get vaccinated for that stuff. And let's just face it, the very first people who got the polio vaccination, that vaccine came out a heck of a lot quicker than the vaccine for COVID did, and had far less checks on it. They rolled it out, and now it's a standard vaccine. And in fact, they changed how they gave the vaccine by having it not in a shot to being able to have it orally for polio. So they had to use a new science to be able to do that. But I'm sure plenty of you have gone out and got your kid their polio vaccine, haven't you? So your whole hype thing has to do with some BS stuff you heard on QAnon, social media. Not what you heard from doctors and scientists, because Lord knows they don't know as much as what some Joe Blow sitting in his basement at 400 pounds eating another Twinkie knows. You know? You don't, I mean, That guy, 400 pounds, sitting on his bed typing, yeah, vaccines are like this and that, eating another Twinkie, knows a heck of a lot more than the scientists who studied the vaccine, who seen the DNA of the vaccine, who studied a way of delivering the vaccine to the humans. And before they even did that, they studied the virus. They actually studied it. Isn't that kind of a novel thought? Why would they study a virus to be able to make a vaccine? I mean, do you really need to know how the virus scientifically works to make a working vaccine? Or do you just need to be 400 pounds, sitting on your bed, eating a Twinkie, typing out something that you know is just going to drive all these people nuts? And that 400-pound guy who's sitting on his bed, eating his Twinkie, and not being able to leave the house is thinking, I don't have to worry about it. I never leave his house. My house, I'm safe because, I never leave my house. Yeah, that it is until mom or the nurse or whoever it is that brings his meal every day comes in and has that COVID virus in him. And guess what? He just got it. Oh no. So, you're never 100% safe. If you're homebound and stuck at home, you gotta have somebody delivering you food. So you are at risk. As long as you come in contact with anybody that comes in contact with the outside world, you are at risk of getting COVID. I don't care if it's your best friend. I don't care if it's your nurse. I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care who it is. If you're stuck in a bed somewhere and you've got to have somebody deliver you food, you've got to have somebody help you bathe, you've got to have somebody help you go to the bathroom, you've got to have somebody help you get in and out of bed, you got to have somebody cook for you, you've got to have somebody clean for you. Any of that fun stuff you got to have somebody else do. Well, then that means that somebody else is healthy enough to walk out the door of your house and come in contact with the public, meaning that they have a chance of getting COVID, walking back in your house, and giving that COVID to you. Now, you say, well, I know if they have COVID, so I wouldn't let them in. No, you won't. There's plenty of people out there who have COVID and didn't even know it because they didn't show symptoms. Or they thought they just had a slight cold or a little bit of a sore throat. Or they were just worn out and tired, been working too long. So you don't know. And they didn't mention to you they were feeling kind of off. Or wasn't even feeling off at all. They come in, they talk to you, and whoo, they breathe on you, and whoo, there goes that COVID onto you. So you're not safe if you're homebound. The only way you would be safe is if you had everything you absolutely needed in your house for your lifetime, and your house was a nice little bubble, and you had automatic cleaning systems that did all your cleaning for you, and you had a robotic bath system and something to help you go, and you had a toilet built into your bed. That's the only way you would know you did not contract COVID from somebody else, is if you never come in contact with somebody else. So remember that. I mean, I'm a person who stays at home all the time. During the time that we were locked down just before the vaccine came, I never left my house. Never. Until the day my cat got sick and I had to take her to the vet. And then I got COVID. That's all it took. Half an hour ride. That's it. And I got COVID. During that whole, and that was just before the vaccine came out. Like a month or two before the vaccine came out. So, I mean, if I could go the whole time that virus was rampaging through this nation and at the very end up with COVID, do you think maybe you can too? So yes, I've been fully vaccinated with every single one of the vaccines that have come out on schedule. Because at least the next time I get COVID, maybe because I showed very little symptoms when I actually got COVID, I won't show symptoms at all. And that leaves a lesser chance of me spreading it to one of you people out there if I come in contact with you. But it's not a zero chance. So, yeah, I can pass it on to somebody else and not even know I'm doing it. And if you're not vaccinated, I say, oh well. So, there's a little bit of food for thought for you people out there protesting and hollering about don't get the vaccine. Do you know what you're putting in your body? Yes, I do. I'm putting the same science in my body that was put into other people's bodies for 10 years or longer now. For 15 years, that same science has been put into other people's bodies to cure them of cancer. They're just using it to make sure that I don't get COVID now. Okay? So that's the science they're using. So get your head out of your backside and think about it. And think about this. The 85% of you ending up in the hospital are unvaccinated. You're unvaccinated people. Oh, there's no such thing as COVID. Oh, the vaccine don't work. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And 85% of the people who stay out of the hospital are 85% of the people who have been vaccinated. Okay? So think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. And, you know, if you still choose not to get vaccinated, that's on you. C'est la vie. Let's hope your trip to heaven is quick. Or hell. Whichever one you're going to. You never know. It's just the same as the roll of the dice on whether or not you get COVID. You never know what's going to happen.